Hey everyone, thank you so much guys for being on my live today. I truly appreciate you guys taking the time to come on for this live. My name is Joanna Amarante. I'm a trichologist in the Tampa Bay area. So I am excited to talk to you about this week about trichotillomania. Hi you guys, thank you so much for joining. So the series for this week, we're definitely going to stick on the subject of trichotillomania. That's what we're going to talk about the whole entire week. And if you actually know of someone, you may want to get them to plug in on the live. That way they can get some information, or if you may know of someone that you can kind of start introducing the live to them. So let's get to it, okay, guys? So you heard a statement before, I'm so stressed out, I want to pull my hair out. Like literally, the statement can be very true to some people. Trichotillomania is a condition that gives some people a strong urge to pull out their own hair. It's known as a hair pulling disorder. The hair pulling disorder happens on their scalp, their eyebrows, their eyelashes, even at times at their private area. Other people pull like one strand at a time, and that might give them an urge to inspect the hair after pulling it. Others can actually pull a large handful amount of hair, which could lead up to bald spots, almost looking like alopecia areata, so like little bald spots on their scalp and their eyebrows. So about half of the people with trichotillomania put their hair in their mouth after pulling it. It's like part of the whole hair pulling disorder. Some people are very aware of them pulling their hair. Others do it without them even realizing that they're actually doing it. It become a habit. They're so used to doing that. Sorry about my cat. She's over there singing or something. Um, so like people with trichotillomania, the resisting or that urge feeling of pulling hair, it's almost like when you had a mosquito bite and that mosquito bite is so itchy that you can't help but to scratch it. You know that the more you scratch it, the more itchy it becomes. So people with trichotillomania, that urge, that feeling, that sensation that they have to pull their own hair, it is completely real, guys. So understand that some people, they start doing trichotillomania because it's the way they solve themselves or feel themselves of comfort because they're stressed, like how someone twirls their fingers or tap their legs or anything like that. It is a habit they occur. So that urge is there. That's how they deal with it. So research actually shows about 2 to 4% of 100 people in an experiment that was done happens in their lifetime. So 2 to 4% of 100 people actually experience trichotillomania. Trichotillomania can just be sitting there pulling their hair out, twirling their hair, sometimes so hard that they end up pulling the hair right from the root. It usually begins in late childhood, early puberty. So we're talking about children between the ages of 9 and 13. So someone who's experiencing trichotillomania is known to experience that at that age. Think about it, like they're going through puberty, they're going through different changes in their bodies and looking at other people and comparing themselves. They got the stress of school. Some people have the stress of school and household. So some kids just deal with stress differently, okay? In childhood, it occurs equally in boys and girls. But by the time they become an adult, it only shows 80 to 90% of reported cases are women. So, guys, I say that because those are reported cases of women. However, men still go through it as well. Women are more likely to look for help, which is why that number is so much bigger. And the reason for that is because at one point, when it becomes so extreme, it becomes more noticeable. And something for a woman is like her hair is her crown. So when people start to notice that difference, that they no longer can hide it, then they start looking for help. Sometimes they don't even know that they've been going through this. It can almost feel like it just happened out of nowhere. So it's unexpected. Um, Something with this, without treatment, trichotillomania can tend to be a chronic condition. It may occur throughout that person's lifetime if they don't find a way to manage or find something else to be able to manage their stress. So pulling their hair may seem like the only way they can get that relief. So trying to help them find a different way to find that relief will kind of help that urge of pulling. Also, people who might do trichotillomania has that feeling or that satisfaction of pulling their hair. It's like when someone takes a cigarette and they smoke, they get that feeling that, oh, I just took a puff and I feel relaxed. That is sometimes the person's mindset when they're going through trichotillomania. So let's talk a little bit more about the emotion, the characteristics of trichotillomania, because that to me is very, very important. And this is how you guys can kind of start noticing these traits and what they do, and also kind of like help them, be there for them as a support. Do not judge people, okay? So people with trichotillomania may feel embarrassed, frustrated, ashamed, even depressed about it. So it weighs very heavy on them emotionally. So that's important for you guys to know. Um, they worry about what people think and say. Like, believe it or not, guys, as an adult, we become so judgmental sometimes. And sometimes we need to take a step back and check ourselves, not be quick to judge people because you don't know what that person is going through. Okay. So someone who's like looking at someone like, why are you pulling your hair? You're crazy. Like, what are you doing? Understand that is how they manage their stress, and maybe be a friend and help them find another way. Okay. So they may also be feeling like they're being nagged at. People don't understand why they're doing it. Understand this, that they're not doing it on purpose. Okay. So when you're looking at them and you're confused to why would someone sit there and pull their hair from their scalp, their eyebrows, their lashes, even in their private area, you're like, what are you doing? You got to understand that they're not doing it on purpose. Okay. They tend to like hide this behavior from others, even from family, which it makes it extremely hard to notice at first, like someone is going through. It's difficult to help them when they're doing it hiding in their own private area, space, where, wherever they're at when no one else is around. Having trichotillomania can actually affect how they feel about themselves. So understand, like, they already know that they're doing it, or even those that may not even notice that they're doing it, they do feel that, they do see some type of change. So they feeling that themselves. So you being judgmental on top of that is definitely not helping them. They may feel less confident making friends and dating, like, because they're so subconscious about it. So that's very difficult. It's already hard enough to find real friends out there, or finding a real partner. So for someone who's going through that, it makes it even more difficult because now they have to like find themselves to be able to be open enough to have this conversation with somebody. And to be honest with you, no one wants to have that conversation right up front when you meet somebody, because people can be really ugly at times. Okay. And this is why I want to take the time to educate you guys about the different types of hair losses so that you can start seeing, maybe I go through it, or maybe you know someone that's going through it, and that you can direct them to who can help them. Okay. Um, so typically too, like, they feel powerless. They feel like they're not in control. That urge of pulling is so severe. They blame themselves for not being able to stop. So it's a lot of self-pain that they're going through. People with trichotillomania usually need help with medical and behavioral specialists in order to stop it. So I do deal with a lot of patients that have trichotillomania. I am like, I love to be there to support them and be an ear for them and allow them to talk and vent to me. However, I am not a licensed therapist or professional. So there's certain things that I don't know how to help them to overcome it. I can only be there for them like a friend or like one of their family members. But someone that does come in, I do recommend them to see a therapist, because that's someone who is actually licensed in that field to be able to help them. Okay, so overcoming that urge with the behavioral therapy, they'll also go through habit substitutions, a combination of therapy and medicine. And I mentioned medicine because some of them have other disorders like depression, anxiety, obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD. So that is something else that they can talk to their therapist about, and find maybe a balance, something either on the natural side or some type of balance to help them with the depression and the anxiety, or even just the urge, because that's how they are dealing with the stress. Some of the medicine can help the brain kind of deal with the situation of, or that urge of pulling, and it just makes it a little bit easier for them, because of the urge and the habit that leads to hair pulling is so strong. Resisting their hair pulling is going to be difficult. It's like kind of like going to rehab, so it's going to take them some time to go through the therapy and find other solutions to help them with that urge. In the beginning, that tension, that anxiety of trying to stop can actually um, be difficult for them to resist that urge. A therapist can kind of like coach a person through that difficult part, offer support, practical advice, how to reverse powerful urges. And that powerful urges, it can be um, as simple as like transitioning them. It's almost like learning how to identify the situation. When does it occur? The time that it occur? Is it out of work? Is it at home? Is it when, hey, sometimes when people say I want to pull my hair out, they're around their kids. It's those things that triggers it. It's finding out what the trigger is. The therapist can kind of help like plan the replacement, the habits that they can do when they feel that strong urge of pulling. And replacing that habit can be as simple as squeezing a stress ball, handing like textured objects, drawing, writing poetry, listening to music. It's just finding something else that they can help release that stress. A therapist can guide them to new habits other than pulling their hair, and also be there for them when they feel weak or they feel like they can't overcome it. They're going to be there to help and guide them. With the right help, they can overcome their hair pulling. And once that happens, there's potential that hair can grow back through treatment. And that's where I come in. So there's treatments to help them regrow their hair. And if the case is more severe than that, then there's also non-surgical hair replacement. Sometimes I start them off with clips just to kind of help block that area and that feeling, because it's more of a feeling. It's like a sensation. Like, because they pull the hair in the topper, they're not going to feel that sensation. So that can be part of their treatment too, is they get their treatment to restore the hair and put the non-surgical hair replacement on as a block for them to feel that sensation, to kind of block off that urge of wanting to pull their hair. So that's where I can come in to help them, and also be there as a friend, as a almost like a family member for them, because of all my clients, I love to treat them like they're my own family. Everyone that I have a relationship as a client of mine know that. So I'm always going to be there for them no matter what. The physical effect though, like guys, this can get real serious. The physical effect can be like tissue damage, infection, repetitive motion injury, muscle and joints. Those things are not uncommon with someone who goes through trichotillomania, especially for so many years. It can be an ongoing thing. It's like when you're driving a car for so long, you need to get new brakes, new hoses and stuff like that for your car. So it's in that same mindset. They need to take care of that before other things start affecting them. Also, because I mentioned earlier, some of them actually pull their hair out, examine it, put them in their mouth, and that can actually end up leading into matted hairballs and into their digestive tract, which can cause over time, the hairballs can cause like weight loss, vomiting, so many other things. Like it can block their gastro blockage, and actually requires surgery to remove, like they're like actual hairballs. Like I have cats, so their cats like to clean themselves and they end up getting hairballs, so they throw it up as time goes on and they got too much hair from licking themselves. So it's almost like the same concept. I try to get you guys to see different scenarios so you can have a better understanding of it. So guys, if you like actually know of someone that is having traction, those people will sit there and just twirl their hair like this, or you can just sit there and watch them sometimes. If you're at work or you at home, start like seeing people for themselves and find a way to help them or guide them to someone who can really help them. So I want to thank you guys so much. This week we're going to continue to talk about trichotillomania. So we're going to hit some other aspects of it. Thank you guys so much. I really love and appreciate the support that I have been receiving. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. We are very close. We're only 4 left to hit 30. The 30 is the big number because the 30th subscriber will get a misactivated hair strengthening treatment or a scalp treatment, depending on which one you are will actually need. And visit my website. Get someone that you may know or yourself that may be going through trichotillomania to visit my website at www.fabulouslymadesalon.com. You can go on there and schedule a complimentary 15-minute consultation where we will go virtual, kind of like how we are live. Not live, but private, I should say. So it's like virtual consultation, just you and I, in the privacy of your home or wherever you need to meet with me. And we can go over this and see how I can help you at Fabulously Made Salon. Thank you guys so much again. Enjoy your family. We will be back live on tomorrow. And remember that we're all made fabulous. I love you guys. Thank you again for your love and support. Have a great evening, guys.